In this video, we are going to create an expert advisor that is able to trade the IAC indicator and use trailing stops. So, let's see how we can do that. To get started, please click on a little icon here or press F4 on your keyboard. Now you should see the Meta Editor window, and here you want to click on File, New File, Expert Advisor from Template, Continue. I will call this file Simple IAC Trailing Stop. Click on Continue, Continue, and Finish. We start by including the trade library. This is done by using the include statement. The trade library is called Trade.mqh, and it contains several useful trading functions. We are going to use it to open positions and to modify existing positions. Afterwards, we create an instance of the CTrade class, and we call it Trade. Now we create a few input variables. These are user-defined variables that can be changed by the user without the need to touch the source code. We have one for the look-back bars. This is the number of candles that we use to calculate the highs and lows. We also have a minimum candles back variable. This is the minimum number of candles that a high or low must be old to be valid. And we have a trailing offset variable. This is the safety margin for the trailing stop in points. Afterwards, we create a few global variables. We need an integer variable for the IAC handle. This is the handle that we use to access the IAC indicator. We also need a ring buffer for the IAC values. This is an array that we use to store the IAC values. And we need an array for the OHLC price data. This is an array that we use to store the open, high, low, and close prices for each candle. The onInit function is executed once when the expert advisor is started. Here we create the IAC indicator handle. We use the IAC function for the current symbol on the chart and the period H1. The Accelerator oscillator requires no additional parameters. We use array set as series to configure the arrays as time series. This means that the newest data is at index 0. We do that for the IAC values array and for the price data array. Finally, we return a success code. The open by position function is used to open a by position. First, we get the current ask price by using the symbol info double function for the current symbol on the chart and the constant symbol ask. Afterwards, we use the position open method of the CTrade class to open a buy position for 10 micro lot. We pass the symbol, the order type, the volume, the price, the stop loss, the take profit, and a comment. In this case, we don't use a stop loss or a take profit. The open sell position function is very similar, but we use it to open a sell position. We get the current bid price by using the symbol info double function for the current symbol on the chart and the constant symbol bid. Afterwards, we use the position open method of the CTrade class to open a sell position for 10 micro lot. We pass the symbol, the order type, the volume, the price, the stop loss, the take profit, and a comment. In this case, we don't use a stop loss or a take profit. The onTick function is executed on every tick. This is the core strategy logic. First, we retrieve the historical price data. We use the copy rates function for the current symbol on the chart, the period H1, starting from candle 0 for the number of look-back bars and store the result in the price data array. Afterwards, we load the IAC values from the indicator buffer. We use the copy buffer function, pass the indicator handle, the buffer number 0, starting from candle 0 for the number of look-back bars, and store the result in the IAC buffer. Now we check if we have any open positions. We set the variable has open position to false, and we set the current position type to buy. This is just a default value. Now we scan through all open positions to find relevant ones. We use a for loop and count down from the number of total positions -1 to 0. We get the unique ticket number for each position by using the position get ticket function. We check if the position belongs to the current symbol by using the position select by ticket function and the position get string function for the position symbol. If this is the case, we set the has open position variable to true, and we store the type of the current position by using the position get integer function for the position type. Finally, we exit the loop. Now we come to the trend detection and position management. If the IAC value for the current candle is above 0, we have an upward momentum. If we don't have an open position, we open a new buy position by calling the open by position function. If we have an open buy position, we check for a trailing stop. We find the index of the lowest low in the look-back period by using the ILowest function for the current symbol on the chart, the period H1, the mode low, the number of look-back bars, and starting from candle 0. We get the last low price from the price data array. Now we check for two conditions. The low must be at least the minimum candles back old, and the current price must be above the identified low. If this is the case, we calculate the new stop level. We add the trailing offset in points to the low price. 1 point is equal to the value of the variable point. Finally, we call the process trailing stop function and pass the new stop level and the position type buy. If the IAC value for the current candle is below 0, we have a bearish signal. If we don't have an open position, we open a new sell position by calling the open sell position function. If we have an open sell position, we check for a trailing stop. We find the index of the highest high in the look-back period by using the IHighest function for the current symbol on the chart, the period H1, the mode high, the number of look-back bars, and starting from candle 0. We get the last high price from the price data array. Now we check for two conditions. The high must be at least the minimum candles back old, and the current price must be below the identified high. If this is the case, we calculate the new stop level. We subtract the trailing offset in points from the high price. 1 point is equal to the value of the variable point. Finally, we call the process trailing stop function and pass the new stop level and the position type sell. The process trailing stop function is used to update the stop loss for both buy and sell positions. We use a for loop and count down from the number of total positions -1 to 0. We select the position via the ticket number by using the position get ticket function and the position select by ticket function. We check if the position matches the specified position type and if it belongs to the current chart symbol. If this is the case, we get the current stop loss value by using the position get double function for the position SL. Now we update the stop loss based on the position type. If the position type is buy, we check if the new stop level is higher than the current stop or if there is no existing stop loss. If this is the case, we use the position modify method of the CTrade class to update the stop loss. If the position type is sell, we check if the new stop level is lower than the current stop or if there is no existing stop loss. If this is the case, we use the position modify method of the CTrade class to update the stop loss. And that's it. Now you can click on the compile button or press F7. You shouldn't get any errors here. And if this was too fast for you, or if you don't understand what all the code is doing, you maybe want to check out the premium course on our website or watch one of the basic videos first. If that works, you can click on the little button here or press F4 to go back to MetaTrader. Back in MetaTrader, we click on View, Strategy Tester, or press Ctrl and R. Please pick the new file, Simple IAC Trailing Stop. X5, enable the visual mode here, and start a test. Here we are. The Expert Advisor is running, and we already have our first open position. So our little Expert Advisor works as designed. And if you are already a premium course member and have an idea for a video like this one, please send us an email. For now, you have learned how to create an Expert Advisor that is able to trade the IAC indicator and use trailing stops, and you have coded it yourself with a few lines of MQL code. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.